Good. We are live. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to WhlPatscast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And this is our episode for November the 17th, 2019. We are a proud member of the Saskatchewan Podcast Network.
Here's Watts into the zone, shot stopped by Paddock, and he denied the rebound too, off of Alexei Protas. Here's Austin Pratt in the offensive zone, rebound, scores! Ty Cole has his seventh. Tyson Feist a slap shot, scores! Carter Charlie in his first game out of Pats uniform, tips it home.
WhlPatscast. You're listening to the WhlPatscast.
Okay, that's a little celebration of the Experience Regina game we had going here this weekend. Again, we are broadcasting, we hope it looks like it, live on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook right now. we're just getting a little loud there on those feeds. I'm going to turn that down a bit. There, that should be better. Yeah, so just one game to talk about this week. Of course, the Prince Albert Raiders rolled into town. I think you and I think most people going to this game thought, here we go again. PA definitely one of the better teams this year. They're sitting at they were 13-3. Top
of the league.
Behind. Well, yeah, I think going into that game they were.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was, but this game they played I don't know. It's always the question, did the Pats play really well or did the Raiders play not so well?
Well, I don't think the Pats definitely played that well.
You don't think they played that well?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you look at all the penalties they took. They were getting outplayed at some points. And
yeah.
I don't know if it was just the ice or whatever, but PA just couldn't capitalize on their power plays. That's what it basically boils down to.
Yeah. So you could look at it either way. We outlasted the power play. I mean, we had at one point, it was pretty near a 2-minute 5-on-3 against us. And then I thought, okay, they killed it, and it was good energy coming out of that. And then what do they do? Within seconds, take
another
too many men.
Yeah.
And it was just, this game could have been
ugly.
So bad. It could have been terrible. PA had good puck movement on their power plays. It just didn't seem like they could
finish. Yeah,
there's the last pass that they have good movement all around, and then the last pass across didn't work and bumbled and fumbled it up. And I think Paddock played relatively well, at least at the start of the game. I think it was the third goal was a little maybe not as
the third goal, I think that was the Protas goal. Yeah, that was a Protas goal.
It looks like it didn't touch anyone all the way in. And
he might have got beat. The Vitelli goal, he was in on his own, and that was a tough one. And then the first one was just a rebound on the power play. Nothing you could do about that.
Right. But overall, I guess in the end we pulled it out. I was happy to get to. Yeah, I'm not trying to diss it. It was
no.
It wasn't a pretty game.
No,
by any stretch. We can look up the stats here. 8 penalties. PA went 1 for 8.
Yeah.
They had 36 shots. We had 27.
Our power play didn't look good either, though.
No.
Again, it
really didn't.
It hasn't looked good the last couple games, actually.
I was noticing, I didn't take note of every power play, but the one we had, they were back to 3 low.
You did mention that. I remember that, but
so just changing that up again. What do you do? I mean, when you're on the penalty kill 8 times.
Yeah, that doesn't help either. That screws up your lines.
It screws up the flow and the lines, and your
guys are sitting on the bench, and because they don't see the ice, and it's. I mean, they had been doing relatively well in the penalty department. I mean, we're mid-pack of penalties taken, so it's not like we're doing bad.
Yeah, we were sitting there before, actually, the game, counting up PIMs and just where we were at.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, we're actually
not bad at all.
Not so bad. Although some of these penalties in this game some were pretty ticky-tacky. I thought you said that checking to the head from Riley Crane was
I think
warranted.
that. Yeah, I believe so.
I thought the guy was a little low to start with.
I mean, but if you hit him in the head, it's a penalty. You can't. If he's down, you can't take him out like that.
Okay. I think the criticism is we don't criticize the refs a lot. It felt like we were getting the short end of the stick here.
I think there may have been a couple calls that could have went against PA. Like, I can't remember who was coming down the left wing and he kind of got held up. It was clearly, it should have been a hold or interference or whatever.
Well, with the amount of penalties we got, it's kind of like...
if you're calling everything, where's kind of that call or something else? But I mean, I know it's always hit or miss, right?
Yeah. Good on them for killing it, though. I mean, watching that 5-on-3 was quite a bit of fun. It was PA they were moving it really well. They just could not finish. I wouldn't say the best team won in this case, but hey, at this point we will take it.
Most definitely.
Kind of a fun night too with Jay and Dan. We didn't actually go down, and I wasn't terribly interested in meeting.
No,
I don't know. I was like, what?
And they had a media availability before the game.
Yeah,
that was at 5:00, and I was like, well, I'm not going to really.
And what are we going to ask?
I know, yeah, exactly. I'm not going to. And 5:00 is such a rough time. Like, it's too early to go to the game and sit there for 2 hours after. Yeah, it's going to be 10 minutes, and then do I go home, have a quick bite to eat, and come back? And I was like, it's not even worth it. So I didn't bother going down. I was just like, whatever. There
was some hate out there for the jerseys. I kind of liked them. I was happy they were actual jerseys compared to when's Saskatoon doing their...
I think they wore them on Friday. Yeah.
Right, and those were...
Friday or Saturday or whatever.
What is it, sublimated?
Yeah, sublimated. Yeah. Fully a thin jersey, and it's just screen print on. And sure, they look great because you can do anything. And you can do whatever you want, and but they look relatively like cheap.
Pajamas out there.
Yeah, because they don't look nice. Yeah. Like my rec hockey team has nicer jerseys than those. Like, we actually have crested jerseys with 3-layer numbers, and like, they're nice, real nice.
Yeah. Whereas these ones for this game were just like a normal crest, and everything was legit, like a pro level jersey, which was nice. And some people didn't like the font, saying it was the Fortnite font, but I don't know.
I didn't even know that.
We were looking at the kind of the
picture.
Yeah, the skyline.
Skyline, yes.
And it was really nice. It was all...
Yeah. I didn't mind them at all, actually. So
yeah, they were good. Shootout was good. I mean, we could have capitalized... I guess before we get to that, the overtime, we could have capitalized on that. That would have been nice.
Yeah, both teams had about a minute power play time in overtime.
And we started with it. That minute went by quick. Felt like we didn't do anything with it.
No.
And then I mean, is that 2 shootouts we've been to now?
Yes.
Yeah, we've won them both.
Yeah. We win in the shootout, but we lose in overtime. Yeah. I think it was like 4 of the last 6 games have gone to extra time.
We can pull that up.
I believe, and we've won both in the shootout. I seen that tweet. Or was it here?
Overtime loss, 2.
Yeah, 4 of the 6 last Pats games have gone past regulation. Being successful in both have gone to a shootout. And then, And actually, Ty Cole, speaking of it, is another stat here. He's 6 for 7 in the shootout.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
6 for 7. Wow.
In his career. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah. And I don't know the goalie, I don't know what the goalie was doing. Like, he didn't even bite on the fake because he didn't go down. Because usually the goalie would go down on the fake, and he just slid it in literally on the ice.
So it was interesting. In post game, they were talking about it. It was the same move he used in Red Deer, I think it was.
Okay.
And they said whatever he's doing, he just freezes the goalie.
Like, he doesn't. Yeah.
It's the same move, whatever it is.
Okay.
And he gets them, and it was the same one they said in Red Deer. The guy just froze, and it was just. Yeah,
because usually you try to you drop your shoulder, get the leg kick, and the goalie go down, and then you can either deke or you can pick your spot. But the goalie literally just stood there, and he's like, okay, I'll just shoot it right through the 5-hole. And
so whether it's his who knows, his eyes or whatever he's doing, but the angle of his stick, I'm not sure what the goalies watch, but Phil was saying it was the same move, and both times got the goalies just sort of flat-footed. Both of us sitting there going into the shootout thought, oh boy.
Yeah, I thought we were done.
Yeah.
He has
they just have the skill, right?
But I don't see Protas he's your best scorer. Well, maybe he doesn't have success in the shootouts. I don't know, but I don't see why he's third. Like if we would have scored
he wouldn't even got a chance.
He wouldn't have had a chance. Yeah. You can't leave your best guy on the bench.
That's what I thought too, but
so
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's nice to get the win. In the last 10 here, we're sitting 2-6-2. So we've got points of the last 4 out of 10 games.
Okay.
Which isn't, I don't know. It seems a little bit better.
Yeah.
Lately. Which is good because, going into this next week is going to be a doozy. So we have the makeup game coming up on the 19th against Swift Current. That, again, as we talked about then, was a game we should win. I think we have to win this one. And then a quick turnaround against Calgary, a good Calgary team, who I think, that's a tough division they're in, right? They're in the Central. They're only sitting at 10-6.
Yeah, 10-6-1-1. So, I don't know what's their past 10 is 5-4. So they're not hot. But
we played with them in the outdoor game, and that's a kind of a tough game to judge things by.
Yeah, it is.
It's something we can go off of.
Mm-hmm. And then Swift Current again.
Yeah, in Swift this time.
Yeah,
and then in Brandon. Brandon again.
That's kind of a tough.
I think we can. Other than the amount of games in that amount of time,
we should be able to pull multiple points here.
I would say so. We could win. We could beat Swift on Tuesday. Calgary.
I'd like to see at least one win out of the Swift games, if not 3 points. And then Brandon's winnable. They've been kind of hit or miss lately.
Yeah, they either show up or don't.
Yeah.
And again, I think teams. It's funny. I've heard a few things. If a bad team's coming in, sometimes teams don't want to be the team that they beat because you don't want to get beat by the worst team. So, I guess the thought is either they play hard against the Pats, or they could either look past them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
it's either or. But that's gonna be a tough week, I think, going forward. Just the amount we haven't, if you look through our November, it's been 1 to 2 games a week, right?
Well, we've only had 4 games up until this point in the month of November, so 4 games in 16 days, and now we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a week and a half.
Yeah.
So, and then carrying over. Yeah, we got 2 4 and 5s coming up. So we have. With the 3-day break there. So 4 and 5, 3 off, 4 and 5. But
that being said, we don't have too many guys that are banged up right now.
No,
is there anything on their injury report?
2 weeks in a row, there's been nothing on the injury report.
So that's good.
Yeah,
at least we're staying healthy when we should be.
I think Massier might have taken something last night.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah,
he went off. His arm looked. There's one point where he I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing him. Yeah, not 100% anyways.
Right.
But
you have some clips from last week?
We have some. I got some interviews there. I got Strush. Yeah, I know.
You got Strush and
I got Chorney as well, the newest.
Okay. Yeah. So nice to have him. A little bit of a connection. He was the billet of someone that I know quite well in Swift Current, and they were pretty choked up for him to leave. It's tough on the we always say it's tough on the kids too, but it's tough on the billets too. They really look after these kids and take them on.
Treat them as another kid, or a new kid. They don't have any more.
Yeah, so they've had some for a few years, but I guess they're not taking anyone else on after he left. But I told him hopefully he has good timing. I guess they talked to him after this game, and it sounded like he was pretty pumped. And I mean, good for him. He gets a goal his first game, gets second star. So awesome.
And Strush, in his interview, I think we'll play it right after. He's commenting on Chorney in the first part of the interview, and then he goes into the game. But he seems pretty happy to have him here.
Yeah.
So we'll go with Chorney. He's just got a little comment about the game, and then go into Strush.
The whole excitement around the game, the extra, and the celebrities here tonight, did that give you guys a little bit extra juice tonight?
Yeah, I think so. The boys were kind of fired up. Jane Danner here, so it's good to get that win. So.
Yeah, so they were pretty a little extra there.
Yeah, I think so. That's good. Anything they can pull right now to get some more energy and whatnot to something to play up for. So
definitely, and it if it helped, it helped. That's great.
Yeah. I was the place wasn't sold out though.
No,
not even really close.
Yeah, what did it say? 46 there?
Yeah, I think the official attendance was 4,700, but man, like we were worried because we had 4 of us for our 3 seats.
Yeah, I thought it might be a little more full.
I thought so. Yeah. But I mean, it's tough when your team's
exactly 2
where they are.
2 and whatever we're
Yeah, and people might have just been, we're going to the Rider game tomorrow, maybe not go to the Pats game or whatever. But
yeah, definitely.
Good, so you got Strush up next?
Yeah, Strush here for a couple minutes.
Did a great job. Right from practice, last 2 practices into the game tonight, you can see he was excited to be here. And you can see his commitment to the team. I was fortunate to have him at the Under-17 summer camp here a few years ago, so I had an idea, familiarity of who he is, what kind of player he's going to be. His year last year, when he got to Swift Current, he put up some pretty good numbers for a power forward. And we're obviously hoping that we can tap into a little bit of that. We saw it tonight. We saw some real good things with and without the puck. And his role is going to be welcomed and expanded as we move forward here. Just from last year, seeing what he did playing for Swift. He's a big, heavy body. He has some skill. We saw some shots tonight, heavy shots. And he wants to be here. He's got energy. He plays a physical game. He plays with courage. He plays with edge. So when we have that, it becomes an asset for us, and we'll use it. Resiliency for me, I think, is probably the best word for it. As good and as hard as we've played for the last 9 games, our work ethic has been so consistent. Our team game, we make mistakes for sure, but we play a good team game. Finishing a game off, going through and playing against good teams has been difficult for us because other teams have real good players. And when they work hard, it's hard for us to win hockey games. Tonight, our team played very resilient hockey. They stuck with it. We had lots of energy on the bench. We fed off each other, and we were rewarded with a win, which we feel we've probably deserved more often than not. And we hope that we can build off it here moving forward.
A little more than usual, but you guys battled through it.
We've worked hard to cut our penalties down, and we've executed that. Tonight was a night that we got caught not moving our feet a couple of times against a good team. When you do that, you end up chasing, and it cost us a lot by getting us in the penalty box.
Yeah, but the penalty kill was good tonight.
Yes, absolutely. The best penalty killer is your goalie. Max made some key saves, and our guys cleaned up after that. And we didn't get ourselves in trouble on the penalty kill by not clearing pucks down the ice, but the guys committed themselves to blocking shots and getting in lanes, getting sticks on pucks. And those are things you need playing against a good team like Prince Albert.
Yeah, we were lucky not to get scored on as much as we could have. I think he's happy with the PK, but I think taking that many is a bit of a problem too.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. One other thing we kind of maybe glossed over, or not even mentioned, was the whole disallowed goal.
Yeah, so there's two disallowed. One pretty clear.
Yeah.
Pretty clearly.
Okay, I didn't really.
I think it was a high. No, the first they didn't even celebrate it.
No, he punched it in with his hand.
Oh, okay.
So it was Nyhoff, I think it was.
Yeah,
I watched the replay. Like he should have tried to do is trying to like cross check the puck with his stick, but he literally. I watched the replay, or like the highlights, so I could see what actually happened because it was at the far end of the rink for us, so I couldn't tell really that good.
Yeah.
But he takes his hand off the stick and he punches it in, and it's like he looked at the ref and was just like, yeah, no, that's no goal. So he didn't. He should have tried. I mean, it's in the heat of the moment. You just it's reaction, right?
Yeah.
But if he would have tried to like cross check the puck into the net, then that might have been okay.
Yeah.
Depending where his level of his stick was, right? But no, it was just straight punch.
Right, and then the second one. So my dad was watching on Access, and he says
so maybe they had some different angles.
Yeah, they said it hit Pratt's kind of his wrist because he went down after.
Well, no, he went down because the guy cross-checked him in the teeth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they say it hit his wrist, kind of. I don't know where the differentiation between a hand and a wrist.
Yeah.
Because can it hit you at all in the hand, even if it's not like, or is it any hand?
I think it just if it touches your hand and your player touches it next.
Okay.
It's like kind of like soccer, handball, right? If it's anything off your hand.
In post game, they said, who did they interview? I think it was Cole.
Yeah.
They said it hit his chest. Access said it hit his wrist.
And I watched the replay a few times, the highlights. It looked like it went off his hand area. Like he knocked it down.
Okay.
Right?
So then regardless, does the goaltender then have to have possession?
Yes.
Okay.
So what I heard from the guy I know that works, does the WHL stuff, what he said was, the goalie has to have actually plays it, not just hit him. That's not that does not equalize possession.
Okay.
But now the issue is, I don't know what views they had, the video goal judge has, but it has to be indisputable to overturn the call, which I don't think happened. Like, I don't think there was any video where it was clearly, he clearly touched it with his hand.
Right. And
it was so ambiguous, like the videos, like you couldn't tell it clearly.
No. And then I guess they were talking to, who was the post-game interview? Haroff or
Montaigne.
Yeah, he was. I think it must have been Montaigne. He was saying he couldn't quite hear, but all he heard was the ref saying, "Oh, we didn't get to see that same shot you were like."
Yeah, so they must have some other video. But if you watch the highlights, they show 3 or 4 replays, like different angles. So. Yeah, it was tough, and
I think the argument could be made that wrist is part of the glove.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And I guess
you just can't see it.
But then the possession wasn't gained by the goalie. It did hit him, but he was like backwards.
Yeah, it just hit him in the pad and it was laying there.
I guess if you think about it that way, wrist close enough to the glove, and then he didn't have possession. So
I'm fine if they would have. I'm fine with them overturning the call if it was very clear.
Okay, now this is something I probably should know, but don't. How are those initiated, the reviews?
I don't know. Yeah.
Is every goal reviewed?
I'm honestly, I'm not even sure.
That'll be something we have to
look into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can find that.
We should ask, because it was who, I don't know. Why was this one reviewed, or all of them? So, yeah.
But, yeah, it's a little unfortunate. And then, that could have went against them. They could have got them down.
Totally. It got us down. We were all
because it was
pissed about it.
Right? But, we've had trouble with the third periods, second halves of the game. And they battled through the third period. I think
because we were up 3-1 at one point, right?
Yeah, it was 3-2 in the third.
Yeah.
And they got that early goal. And, you know, there was, I don't know, about 7 minutes to go when that happened. So it was like, ooh, that could have been a winning goal.
And it was on a power play.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think PA what was the shots in that third period? Like, it was pretty even, I guess. But it seemed like PA controlled that third period more than we did. But we battled through it. Like, it wasn't the prettiest game, but we're not going to have very many pretty games, I don't think.
No, these are the games we're going to have to win.
Like these close games that we can hang on to, and they didn't collapse in the third, and we hung on in overtime, and then we won in the shootout.
Yeah, I'm happy. You know what? I'm happy with it. It's not quite as maybe thrilling as the last year's game we beat PA. Kind of that New Year one, but heck, we haven't won a lot this year, so let's savor this and go forward with it.
Yeah, hopefully they can get some momentum. You know, with this tight schedule coming up, we're not going to have, you know, really any time to practice or anything like that, and just going to have to roll with it. So
yeah. And speaking of Carter Chorney, so he was acquired for Sam McGinley. Sam really stood out to us last year at the rookie camp. He looked like quite a favorable prospect. We haven't seen him a lot this year, which maybe made him a little bit expendable.
Yeah.
Just seeing that
Johnson's getting
Johnson and Mitchell might have Sam might have just been
dropped the
the odd man out. Yeah. He's a guy I would certainly like to see progress and see how his WHL career goes. I think he's got some potential. Maybe he'll find that in Swift. Although Swift's kind of, I don't want to say dumpster fire. That might be a bit harsh, but kind of some, I don't know, rough luck there. Well, I mean, I guess they got Alkamoff out of it.
Yeah, that was, again, another trade where the guy, he reported, but he practiced twice, I think it was, and then he went home.
What was his name? Keponiemi?
Kiviniemi.
Yeah.
Something like
I'm thinking the other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, he went to Vancouver, practiced twice, and then he went home.
And he was there all last year, was he not? In Swift?
Yes, I believe so.
I think so. Because I remember he was fairly decent, too. Gets traded to Vancouver for Alkamoff, so Alkamoff back in Saskatchewan, and then takes off to
home, I guess.
God.
Yeah,
so Vancouver's just like, okay.
I know. And he's going to a pretty good team, you know, and
I mean,
upgrade in team, upgrade in town kind of thing. But I mean, the imports, you never know. They
are they are some sketchy, not very reliable guys.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, they're 16, 17, come to another continent to play hockey. Like, you can't fault them if they
The thing is, they're coming here for exposure in attempts to get drafted to go pro, right? Like, that's their hope, or probably what they're told. And then you end up on a team like Swift or Regina, and I don't know if I'm going to get what exposure I'm looking for here, right? So I don't blame them. Do you blame Gushin either?
Yeah, it's hard.
These kids do have to look out for their own future, right?
But
so before we go on, I was thinking how this was, to me, a fairly big upset, right? I did look at the odds. We were only like 7-1.
Okay.
Yeah, which isn't
on that same website we were using before.
Yeah. So
I think it was roughly about that same last year, 7-1.
I think
right?
So. It didn't have a plus minus, like so. If you ever bet and you're on the goals, like
an over
what the spread was, it didn't have that. It had an over under of I think 7 or 8.
Oh, okay. Well, it was 7.
Maybe it wasn't even that many. I think we hit the over, but it didn't have the spread.
Right.
So my trivia for this week was I wanted to see if I could find the biggest spread. I didn't think I'd find junior hockey. I tried to find NHL. Didn't quite find NHL, but so yeah, it's some of the biggest upsets in sporting. You'll probably know I guess the longest odds. We'll look at the gambling odds. You probably, it's more recent, so you probably know of it. But before we get to that,
think about that.
Yeah, the Saskatchewan Podcast Network is supported by Connexus, Savings, Checkings, GIC, Budget, RESP, RRSP, TFSA, Mutual Funds, Credit Score, Emergency Funds, Variable versus Fixed Rates, Compound Interest, and Retirement. The list goes on. It's time to make sense of all this. At Connexus Credit Union, they want to help. Visit connexusmoneytalk.ca to find expert advice, tips, and solutions for all stages of life and events, and increase your financial literacy knowledge and confidence today. So the longest odds ever given by a bookie, or whatever, legit bookies, I guess you can call them, was it was more recently, and it was that Leicester City winning the
the EPL.
Yeah. So
that was like
they were 5,000 to 1.
Okay, I was gonna say 2,000.
So to give you kind of a frame of reference of what 5,000 to 1, so you bet $1 and you win 5,000.
Yeah.
I think they only said there was $200 and some placed on that bet around a few people.
Yeah.
So they didn't pay out an exorbitant amount, but
because it's such long odds.
It's not like someone put $1,000 on it.
No one's going to do that.
So, for instance, Miracle on Ice, right?
Yeah. So
a college team playing. This is the 1980 Winter Olympics. It's a bunch of college U.S. kids playing the Soviet Union, and so before that game they played the Soviets and got pumped 10-3. Okay, so you got to think going into that game, those are pretty, and that was 1,000 to 1.
Oh, that's only 1,000 to 1.
Yeah, so you're thinking 5,000 to 1, and I read an article saying we shouldn't have given those odds. That was asinine. Like, it's so far beyond anything else out there.
Yeah, see that's different though, because that's not just one game. That's them winning the league. So that's a season-long success. Yeah. That's why the odds are so long. It's not just
true. Like even when you go, you can bet futures in the NFL, and even like a team like New England or some really good team, they're still, 5-6 to 1 to win.
Yeah. To win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because it's so hard to predict anything that far out. So some other ones, Appalachian State versus Michigan in 2007, 150 to 1.
Shout out to Brian Thompson. And he's not listening, but I'll bring it up.
He's a Michigan fan?
Yeah.
Wolverines or State?
Yeah, no, Wolverines.
Oh, okay.
So they just played each other in basketball, and I'm pretty sure...
Well, someone lost... Number one lost. Whoever's number one always Kentucky. Kansas, one of them lost this week.
Yeah, to Evansville.
Yeah.
So Evansville's a pretty small school. They're more known for their baseball program, where my girlfriend's brother went.
Okay.
So they have a pretty good baseball team.
Yeah.
But they're not a basketball school.
Okay.
So he was pretty pumped about that. He was talking about Evansville, and I was like, "Oh, what do you
Yeah.
What's he talking about?" And then all of a sudden, boom! I see it. Evansville beat Kentucky or whoever it was.
Okay.
I was like, "Oh, geez."
Whoever number one seed was.
Yeah.
I just hear about it on PTI.
Yeah.
So Appalachian State versus Michigan, that was 150 to 1. The Giants versus Patriots in 2008 Super Bowl.
When the David Tyree catch.
Yeah. There's the helmet catch when Patriots were 16-0. That was 100 to 1.
So just for the game then.
Yeah.
So
that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's where almost, it's sure it's 100 to 1, but it's a 50-50 shot here, right? And you can throw down couple $100 on that game because you're like, well, this is a good chance, right? Whereas going into the season 100 to 1, well, that's a long shot, right?
Right. Yeah, 100 to 1, those are pretty tantalizing odds.
Yeah.
I remember I was a big NFL fan at that time. I remember that, and I didn't think they had a fucking chance. I don't know if I would have put much more than $1 down on it.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, it's still one game, right?
True.
Now, speaking of odds, I texted you about some odds just recently too. I can't remember what it was now.
Regarding what?
I don't remember. Remember, I was like, I would have considered putting money down on that.
Oh, I forget what that was.
Yeah, I
remember you saying that though. But to gamble here in our country is ridiculous because if you do it through the sports line, you have to bet on 3 games.
Yeah,
you can't.
Right.
You can't bet on one game, so the odds are so. I followed Jared Dumba and his
him and Scott Andrew.
Their pro lines.
They're going back and forth on Twitter with their pro lines. Like, come on, I need one more win.
They're so hard to win.
I remember doing that stuff in high school all the time, on hockey all the time, and I got to take one tie every.
That's how they get you too, is the ties,
right? Because
my God,
that jumps your value up much, right?
It does, yeah. And for football, if it's within 3, it's a tie, which is just. It's so hard to win. I don't know why anyone does it. Okay. Now, since we, I was worried we wouldn't have enough to talk about, but here we are.
Yeah, we
found stuff to talk about. But I did want to reference your article that you wrote for Dub Network.
Okay, hold on. Just before you do that.
Okay.
It was the LSU-Alabama football game. And it was Bama was a 7-point favorite with a questionable quarterback at home.
7-point.
And they were a 7-point favorite. And LSU, I think, was clearly the better team. Yeah. And they went in and won easily. Yeah. Well, they won by 7 or 8. Yeah. Alabama scored a touchdown late. So they covered by 14 points. Yeah. So I don't know. I was like, ooh, that was tantalizing after I seen that. I don't gamble or anything, so I wouldn't have put money.
Those games are available through Sports Select, but you have to
select 3.
Yeah, you have to pick 2 others.
Yeah, but if you go onto these websites, you can put money down on just one game.
True. You can.
Yeah,
but anyways. Sometimes it's good luck getting your money.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't trust them personally. Yeah. So anyway, as I was speaking to, for anyone who doesn't know, Chris writes for dubnetwork.ca. He wrote a good article just updating on the Regina Pats prospects. So we'll start here at the top with Matthew Keeper. We saw him a few times, and he's only a 15-year-old player, and he did not bad for his WHL debut.
Yeah. He looked good in the preseason, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He did. I think he got pulled, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He gave up 4 or 5 against Lethbridge about halfway through the game, but I mean,
I was not disappointed. I mean, he's 15 years old, so
and
we were in a bad spot there for a little while with our goaltenders.
Situation. Yeah, so it wasn't a bad idea to throw him in. It's not like we were like, oh, let's sit Paddock to throw in this 15-year-old. Yeah, like we were struggling. Bellick and we had Pizzenti still at that point. Yeah, and nobody was really doing much for us, so we throw him in there. And Strush commented after that he's a level-headed kid. That's not gonna affect his game, him personally. So
so he's 15 playing in a U18 league.
So that's the midget. They don't call it midget anymore in Manitoba because that
political correctness.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So it's under 18, which is 15, 16, 17.
Okay.
Like midget AAA.
Yeah.
So and he hasn't played much. So obviously, with him being with the Pats for quite a while, back and forth,
true,
he hasn't done it. So that article's on the 6th of November, and he'd only played 2 games.
Okay.
And 1-1 record. Appeared in 3 games with a 1-1 record. So.
And good. So next is Spencer Wilkie.
Yes, that's the new guy we
from the
Mintos. I think we signed him.
Or did we trade for him? I think we traded for his rights.
Was that him? Oh, was that
for
Pizzenti?
Pizzenti.
Yeah, okay,
yeah, that's right. So he is a 17-year-old up with the Prince Albert Mintos. Currently has a 6-2 record, 2.24 goals against average, and a 9.30 save percentage. Team's 10-3. So he's playing on a decent team there. So 17-year-old again. Goaltender situation going forward. Don't quite know what it's going to look like over the next few years.
Where's that? Our prospect list of ages.
So while he's looking that up in the defense, he goes on to speak about Leighton Feist. So again, our first round draft pick from last season, brother of what's his name? Feist.
Tyson. I had to think about it too. I was like,
each other. So he's tied for his lead of the team scoring among defensemen, 10 points with 1 goal, 9 assists in 12 games. Team is 6-6, and just middle of the pack there, 8th in the 16-team league.
Yeah, he's playing in the CSSHL, that sports school league.
Right.
So some pretty decent competition there.
Yeah, definitely.
Playing out in Okanagan.
Yeah. And next is Dalen Weigel. He is with the Saskatoon Blazers. 16-year-old. He's got 10 points in 12 games, 2 goals, 8 assists. And last year he was with Beardies. And the Blazers are 10-2 in AAA midget.
Yeah, so that actually, speaking of Beardies, they lost their franchise.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of tough.
I heard that. That was a little, I don't know, that could be a whole other, I'm sure there are people that have a lot more knowledge and opinion about that, but the bit I read was a little shady. So, it wasn't. They said it was a 3-year study, and Notre Dame lost the Argos. Yeah.
So, I mean, but Weyburn nor Estevan have a midget AAA team, which is a little surprising. I didn't realize that. I thought, Weyburn has one, that's why Estevan got one. And then actually I was talking to my coworker, and he's like, no, Weyburn doesn't have one either.
Okay.
So, and Notre Dame doesn't need to. I mean, they have the Hounds. They don't need the Argos as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Beardies thing. So Warman got a team. They've been really trying to get an SJ team for a while. They've got a really nice newish building, and it could do Junior A, but that hasn't worked out for them for whatever, maybe the SJ is not looking to expand. But they have a really nice facility, and Warman isn't far from where Beardies is, and so it's kind of like you're going to get the same. It's in that Saskatoon area, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, Beardies may attract a different player, but it's given some other guys a chance as well. So and they kind of talked about that, and they've had the team for 25 years, and I was kind of disappointed to hear that actually.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously
sounds like there's some politics behind it.
Yeah, and obviously we don't know it all, right? So
yeah. So next is Parker Berg, 16, still playing in the CSSHL, the Northern Alberta Extreme, with an X.
Yeah.
Midget prep team, and they are the top team right now. So that's a defenseman. Now looking at the forwards, so we're Daniel Gushin still.
Yeah, I threw him out there because he's had a good season.
Probably want to know where he is.
Yeah, exactly.
What he's up to.
I mean, he's not coming this year. I don't know if he's ever going to come, but I thought I'd throw out his name in the article. So
yeah. He's we spoke to it last episode. His 4-goal effort there that made a highlight on ESPN's top 10, like the actual ESPN down in the States. So yeah, it sounds like he's doing okay down there. Probably won't see him up here again. My thought is he probably wants to keep his NCAA eligibility.
Let's see what happens. Yeah. Well, I don't know if
stay with the program he knows.
Yeah, that too, and who knows what happens after he gets drafted, because he is going to get drafted, and the team could have some say in where he plays next year, or direction.
Yeah.
Give him, hey, maybe this is a better option. I don't know if we are going to be a better option than what he has, but who knows?
Maybe next year. We'll see. Josh Paulus, again, someone we were kind of up on coming out of preseason. Kind of expected him to make the team. But he is right now with SJ Humboldt Broncos. 3 goals, 3 assists in 15 games. 34 penalty minutes, so he's a bit of a bruiser out there.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that too. That's why I threw that in there.
Yeah, so he was with the Contacts last year, had some good seasons there, it sounds like, and I think that's what caught the eye of some scouts.
Yeah, we just straight up signed him, so that was a nice pickup.
Yeah.
We could see him at some point along this campaign, say if we have an injury or two.
Yeah, absolutely. Easton Armstrong is the American. He's down in Los Angeles playing for the Junior Kings U16 program in Tier 1 Elite Hockey. He's got 7 goals, 5 assists, second on the team in scoring. I think we were happy with him in preseason too.
Yeah, and trying to track down those American stats, it's tough. Like they play, they play. I don't know. Different teams and different leagues per se. There's kind of a crossover, and I don't know what's what. So it was kind of. I would have liked to update the Americans more because we don't, people aren't going to go looking for that stuff. Right. Whereas you're going to hear about Paulus playing in SJ or guys in the CSSHL, right? Because it's up here. But yeah, it's tough to track down stats and stuff for those Americans. But so I threw in a couple guys that I could find some stuff on.
Okay, and then Braden Barnett playing with the Pat C's. He's got 2 goals, 2 assists with the team, and he's also playing with Cole Gordon down there with 1 goal and 2 assists. Have you been to a Pat C's game?
No, I haven't. I haven't been to one.
Did you got the add-on that they offered?
I did, but again, get him up to my coworker. His son was going to the game. I'm like, here, take this, because I'm not going to go. I'm not going to have time to get to him. But I know Scott has gone out, and there's been some good games. Access has been covering them as well.
I've watched a couple. It's not bad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's some nice talent. I like the highlights they put out are nice. You kind of watch. There's some pretty good glimmers of some talent there.
Yeah, and I think their goalie's still doing pretty well that we had listed, but we have released from the protected list, so he's probably going to go NCAA or wants to anyways.
And then lastly, you have Ty Schmilnanik, and we're still
waiting on him.
Kind of maybe got our fingers crossed for him too, playing with that U.S. national team development program, who plays some USHL teams. So they play similar, against, I guess, similar level of CHL style hockey, and then
they go up and play the NCAA guys who are a lot older.
Absolutely. So they play up a little bit, and you haven't been able to see anything of a commitment to any school.
I still don't see one, so
I guess still hold out hope a little bit for that, because he was committed and then
to Denver, I believe.
And didn't the team?
I don't know. I thought I read something. Yeah, the team dropped him, or something happened, released him, or whatever out of his commitment. But yeah, so he'll be looking to play somewhere next year, where if it's the USHL or possibly here, who knows?
Yeah,
I'm sure John Paddock's working that phone.
How old can they be with the
U.S. team?
Yeah.
Oh, so there's 2 teams. There's the under 17, and then there's the under 18.
Okay.
So he's in the under 17.
Yeah. So he could still do another year.
Right. Oh, or is he in the 18?
He might be in the 18 by now.
Yeah, because he played last year. So he's in the under 18 this year. Right, yeah, because he's draft eligible this year. So he's 17. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I get those mixed up. Because, they play 2 years. You go there and you play under 17 and then under 18. And then, because last year was that loaded under 18 team that had like 7 or 8 first round picks. Like, they're absolutely loaded.
As we were reading that article, I like the little thing they have that Dub Network does, that little highlight thing that comes up here.
Oh yeah, the video
page. Yeah. So I was just looking, some surprising scores from last night.
It goes all the way back to the end of the week, start of the week.
Oh, so Swift Current took it to Moose Jaw.
Oh, I know.
Exploded 7-3.
That's a little bit surprising. Yeah, I had Moose Jaw picked in that game for weekend picks, of course.
Oh. I know. Red Deer beating Brandon.
It sounds like after Red
Medicine
Deer
Hat beating Edmonton 5-1.
Yeah.
Wow.
It sounded like Red Deer, because the Red Deer beat PA, and Paul Fiegler that covers Red Deer there for Dub Network. He says they're playing totally different. Like, they got a little bit of confidence beating PA, and now they were up big in that game, and I think they kind of almost let it slip, but they held on for the win.
And then this one today, Lethbridge taking it to Vancouver 6-0.
Wow.
I would keep my eye on Lethbridge. They could make some.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to have.
After last year, they sold off, and it seemed like,
losing all those guys, not necessarily selling.
Oh, sorry, yeah. They sold off their assets and to go for a yeah. So I guess, but you know what I mean. Yeah, they've made a push last year, and usually when you do that, you regress. But
I think their goalie Tedachuk is really coming to his own here. Maybe he might have struggled there down the stretch in the playoffs.
Well, he kind of got thrown in.
Yeah, maybe a little in over his head.
Yeah,
where he hadn't played that much, and now he's getting comfortable playing a lot more.
Yeah.
I think if you go to the stats, he's right up there in like top goalies. So
Okay, well, we managed to fill the time.
One other thing, I see Winnipeg is down to Portland in Portland right now. But we were talking about Peyton Krebs last week.
Yeah.
And he said, neither of us have heard anything on him. And then Gary Lawless was on Rob Pearson's show on Friday, so I put in a comment. I said, if there's a Peyton Krebs update, let us know. And he says, yeah, he's going to be back soon. He could be playing World Juniors even.
Okay, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Winnipeg tweets out, I think on Saturday, that he's back with the team and he's ready to rock and roll for tonight.
Well, he was ready Saturday, but he had a 1-game suspension he still had to serve.
Oh, really?
I tried to find out what it was and I didn't keep looking. He had a suspension from last year.
Really?
Yeah, that he had to serve.
Oh.
So he's back.
So he's in the lineup tonight?
Tonight, yeah.
And then the 30th was his first home game.
Right.
Is what it was going to be.
So he was ready yesterday, and then served his suspension.
Okay.
And then I guess he'd have to go back to...
Oh, this should be the end at the top here. Oh, they didn't make the playoffs, so it'll be Kootenay. Right here, 1 game for check from behind major.
In the last game, so March 17th, that would have been the last game. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he had to serve that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. I was not ready to go. Well, sorry, bud. You got to serve your suspension.
Yeah.
But good for him. I think that was a long, hard rehab that he had to do. So,
yeah, that's a good talent to be out there.
Yeah, Winnipeg is gonna put up some points too, I think.
Actually, there's another guy that would be nice to see in the WHL that probably should be playing in the WHL's Carter Savoy.
Oh, yeah.
We had the rights to, and we traded to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
I think it was 28 goals in his first 24 games in
something
the
like that.
AJHL.
Yeah.
He's lighting it up.
Yeah.
As a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
He's...
So he's 17.
Matthew's 15.
I think next year they are going to be... Well, Krebs will be gone. But...
I don't think he's going to Winnipeg. I don't think so.
Carter?
Yeah.
Oh.
If he would have went this year, I think, if he was going.
Do you think so?
I don't think he's... Yeah, I don't think so. He obviously wants to go play college.
Okay.
He doesn't... He could have played this year. Because he had really good stats as a 16-year-old last year. Obviously I haven't seen him play, but as a 16-year-old he put up 25 goals or something like that.
Right.
Don't quote me on that, but it was significant for a 16-year-old playing junior A. But yeah. So, but yeah, he's lighting it up. I just seen that come across the Twitter line there.
Yeah, I saw that too. Okay, so we're gonna keep doing this live thing. I think I have to redo or do something with the
comments.
It's not working, but yeah, we'll get that up and going for you guys next time. Again, live on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. If you're a friend of ours, to get it as a public page to be able to stream to is going to cost
money,
and we're not making anything off this, so I'm not going to invest too much into it. But I think YouTube's probably the best video quality, but Twitter's probably the most accessible, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the YouTube stats, lots of people use YouTube, so we thought, well, it doesn't take much just to stream to YouTube too, and it's there in history if you want to watch us instead of listening.
Yeah,
whatever
some people do. I don't know. Yeah.
I rarely
it's not
use
my
YouTube,
jam, but whatever. It was no effort to put it back to include YouTube along with Twitter. So I think. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, next week I'll be live on location in the States.
Oh, right, yes. So, that'll be another fun thing we get to do is...
split screen, we'll try that out.
Split screen via Twitter. Or Skype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a go, see how it works.
That should be good. And we'll have lots to talk about next week.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will sign off for the night. Good night, everyone.